You know that feeling when you've been busy all day but somehow accomplished nothing meaningful? You answered 50 emails, scrolled through Slack, attended 3 meetings, and checked your phone maybe 100 times. But that big project you really care about, that creative work that actually matters, still sitting there, untouched. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You weren't lazy. You were just trapped in what Cal Newport calls shallow work, and it's quietly destroying your potential. Today, I want to show you the difference between two types of work that will literally change how you see productivity forever. Picture a typical knowledge worker in 2024. Let's call him Mark. Mark starts his morning with good intentions. He's going to write that proposal, finish that design, or code that feature. But first, just a quick check of his emails, 5 minutes tops. 2 hours later, Mark has responded to 17 messages, joined a quick sync, and somehow ended up reorganizing his desktop folders. He feels exhausted. He feels busy, but deep down, he knows he hasn't really created anything. This isn't Mark's fault. He's not broken. He's just never learned the distinction between two fundamentally different types of work. And understanding this distinction is the difference between mediocrity and mastery. So let's start with shallow work. What exactly is it? Shallow work is any task that doesn't require intense focus, the kind of stuff you can do while half distracted. Checking emails, scheduling meetings, updating spreadsheets, formatting documents, scrolling through notifications. These tasks are necessary, sure, but here's the thing, they don't create much value. Anyone with basic training could do them. They're logistical, administrative, surface level. And here's what makes shallow work so dangerous. It feels productive. Your inbox goes from 50 to 0. Dopamine hit. You crossed off 12 items on your to-do list. Another dopamine hit. Your brain loves these quick wins. It's why you keep reaching for them. But while you're drowning in shallow work, something insidious is happening. Your ability to do difficult, focused work is actually deteriorating. Like a muscle you never use, your concentration is weakening. Your attention span is shrinking. And the truly valuable work? The work that could actually change your career? It never gets done. Now let me tell you about deep work. Deep work is professional activity performed in a state of distraction-free concentration. We're talking about pushing your cognitive abilities to their limit, writing a complex algorithm, crafting a compelling narrative, solving a difficult problem, creating something genuinely new. This is the work that requires your full brain. No distractions, no multitasking, just you and the task. J.K. Rowling didn't write Harry Potter while checking Twitter. She locked herself in a hotel room. Bill Gates took think weeks, where he'd isolate himself completely to read and reflect deeply. Carl Jung built a tower in the woods specifically for undisturbed thinking. These people understood something crucial. Deep work produces extraordinary results. It's how breakthroughs happen, how masterpieces are created, how careers are made. But here's the problem. Deep work is hard, really hard. It's uncomfortable. It's mentally exhausting. And in our notification-saturated world, it's becoming increasingly rare. Let me break down exactly why these two types of work are so different. Shallow work is easy to replicate. Deep work creates unique value. Shallow work is interruptible. Deep work requires sustained focus. Shallow work makes you feel busy. Deep work makes you feel accomplished. Here's a perfect example. Responding to emails versus writing a research paper. Anyone can answer emails. It requires minimal cognitive effort. You can do it while watching TV. But writing that paper? That demands original thinking, analysis, synthesis, your full intellectual capacity. The email responder is easily replaceable. The researcher creates irreplaceable value. And in our economy, the ability to perform deep work is becoming the ultimate competitive advantage. Because here's the reality. As AI handles more shallow work, the value of deep work skyrockets. The people who can still think deeply, focus intensely, and create original work, they're going to dominate their fields. But most people are going in the opposite direction. Studies show the average knowledge worker checks their email every 6 minutes. We switch between apps and websites nearly 400 times a day. Each interruption might seem minor, just a quick glance at a notification. but research shows it takes an average of 23 minutes to fully refocus after a distraction. Think about that. A 5-second glance at your phone costs you 23 minutes of peak cognitive performance. No wonder we're exhausted but unproductive. We're constantly switching between tasks, never going deep enough to create anything meaningful. So how do you escape this trap? How do you actually do more deep work? First, schedule it. Deep work doesn't happen by accident. Block out specific time periods dedicated solely to focused work. Treat them like unmovable appointments. Second, eliminate distractions ruthlessly. And I mean ruthlessly. Phone in another room, email closed, Slack notifications off, door shut. Create what Newport calls a deep work environment, where focus is the default. Third, start small. If you haven't done deep work in months, don't expect 4-hour sessions immediately. Begin with 30-minute blocks. Build the muscle. Gradually increase the duration. Fourth, embrace boredom. This is crucial. Every time you feel that urge to check your phone, to take a quick break, to see what's new, resist it. Sit with the discomfort. Your brain is learning to focus again. And finally, measure your deep work hours. What gets measured gets managed. Here's what most people don't realize. This isn't just about productivity. It's about reclaiming your mind from the constant noise. It's about creating work you're actually proud of, work that matters, work that lasts. Yes, shallow work is necessary. You can't eliminate it completely. But when you understand the difference, you can be intentional. You can protect your deep work hours like they're sacred. Because in a world of infinite distractions, the ability to focus deeply isn't just valuable, it's revolutionary. And it might just be the skill that defines your entire career.